We got some incredible FSD 12 footage. See how this line here just ends abruptly? FSD 11. I encountered a situation like that with my own vehicle, and it wasn't great. But here, it handled it no problem. Tesla's executive Rohan Patel even commented on this clip. The progress of FSD in the last few months has been astounding. I encourage everyone with a Tesla or looking to buy one in the US and Canada to give it a try. However, he points out that you will be forced to pay far closer attention while using FSD than you normally do while driving, with no level of automation and with many distractions, which doesn't make sense to me, but it is the reality given our driver monitoring systems and regulator requests. And the bottom line is that your family is far safer with FSD enabled than without it. Omar says Elon needs to be more like other auto CEOs. He could learn a lot from them. There's a chart here, and it says Tesla's $608 billion in market cap could buy the 9 largest car manufacturers with $15 billion left. Elon, of course, found it funny. I'm not sure though why they use 2020 numbers for the number of vehicles sold. Tesla's numbers would be a little bit higher, but not by a lot. The Tesla economist agrees with James that free speech isn't at risk if the country is collapsing, and that Elon used publicity to get people's attention to Tesla. This publicity was more climate change related, to say the Earth. Now Elon uses his publicity to get more people using X. However, X publicity hurts Tesla. I'm not even sure how much Elon cares about anything he tweets. It's probably all for publicity. I think it's also important to point out that the Tesla economist Lee, he does not live in the West. He lives in Asia. At least that was true about a year ago. I think Jason has a pretty good point here. If we're not free to speak, our freedom vanishes in one generation. Our wealth will be taken from us by the government. It's already happening via inflation, but aggressive taxation is next, followed by confiscation. Game over. Confiscation of assets is already happening with political enemies. For example, Elon's compensation package has been taken away. I grew up in one of the Baltic states, and my country has been taken by Russians, the Soviets, and the Nazis. One of the first things that they do is they take away your ability to speak freely. And they also take the wealth of rich. For example, I have many friends that have their whole families sent to Siberia. Luckily, my family had no money at all, so there was no one to send to Siberia because there was no money that my family had. Like everything else, Elon is 5 to 10 years ahead of everyone in realizing this. That's why he's pushing so hard. By the time everyone else sees it, it will be too late to do anything. That's why we need more highly influential business leaders to join Elon in speaking up against censorship, woke mind virus, DEI, open borders, and government corruption. The people who tell them to be quiet are not thinking about the long-term consequences of their actions, and they're just thinking about how much money will I have in 12 months, not in 10 or 15 years. Remember that report that showed that Tesla sold something like 1 or 2 vehicles in South Korea earlier this year? Well, that's about to change because Tesla just imported 4,800 Model Ys to South Korea. The first deliveries begin in March, so if you were worried that demand has completely collapsed in South Korea for Tesla, worry no more. The multi-billionaire all-in Tesla stock investor Cogwin Leo, who I believe lives in Singapore, says he agrees with Fred. He says Tesla has very serious governance problems, and it has had them for a long time. He thinks the board is still missing in action, and the one, Elon Musk, is a part-timer and is undermining Tesla to benefit his self-conflicted interests. He hopes that institutional S&P investors intervene and take material action now to remedy these governance problems. I am 100% convinced that if Tesla stock goes down substantially from here, we will start hearing from Leo every single day, just like we did about 14 months ago.